Hi, everyone. So in this quick announcement, I wanted to do an overview of the Read 82 skills that we have covered so far. And I think that at this point, it's important for us to see the big picture as we are wrapping up the last couple of lessons and we are preparing to start focusing on our final assignment and project, okay? So if you remember, early in the beginning of the semester, we talked a lot about the different types of articles that we read. Sometimes there are academic articles and then there are non-academic articles. And how do we know which one is academic and which one is not? We also spent a lot of time recently learning how to write a summary of the article. We also spent a good portion of time doing author analysis. And the author analysis was when we analyzed the author, we discussed if the author's credential was credible, what was the author's background, why or why not. We also discussed about the author's purpose and who is the intended audience in the author analysis. We discussed about if the author is neutral or biased. How do you know? What is the author's stance if they are biased? And then I mentioned this already, but the author's purpose. And remember, we talked about 3 different types of purposes. This week, we are going to wrap it up with these last 2 skills that will be a part of this assignment, final assignment project. We're going to look at types of evidence. What types of evidence does the author use to support his or her argument? And based on the evidence used, do they strengthen or weaken the argument? The other skill that we're going to look at to wrap up all of the skills in this semester is we're going to look at facts or opinions. And I know that to some of you, you might say, oh, I know what they are. Yes, you know what they are, but sometimes identifying them can be pretty tricky. And so we're going to talk about, when we talk about facts and opinions, we're going to look at, in the article, does the author use mostly facts, or does the author use mostly opinions, or is it a mixture of both? And based on what the author uses, does it strengthen or weakens the argument, okay? And so when we look at all these skills that we have been working on, it is a build-up to help us with our final project. Because on your final project, you will have 1 article that you will read, and you are going to apply every single one of these skills in the article. You're going to explain your analysis of the article based on all of these things here. And so feel free to go back to the previous modules or in your previous notes that you have taken if you had class, if we had a traditional face-to-face class, pull all of those things out because now it's time to tie all of those things into one reading selection.